record of getting things done. But I need your help. I need your ideas. I need your feedback. And most of all, I need your support. Together, we can make this city a safer, better place for ourselves, for our children, and for our grandchildren. Let's work together to build a brighter future for our city. Let's make our voices heard on Election Day. Remember this quote from the poet J. Ivy. You could get in where you fit in, or you could make room. Thank you for your attention and time. And remember, on Election Day, vote Pete Madrid, District 2.
The next race we will hear from is the City Council District 4 race. And up first, we have Vicente Martinez Ortega.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Pueblo Latino Chamber. Thanks for putting all this together. Thank you to the staff of the Convention Center for making our food and giving us that nourishment. It was a really good lunch. 24 months ago, I sat up here and I talked about a revitalized Northern Avenue. Over the last 2 years, or the last 15, 16 months, we have poured $1 million into the Bessemer Wellness Centers, so people have access to harm reduction. In the last, over that time, we've allocated money for, flowers, safer street lighting. We had our grant writer give us some assistance in getting the safer lighting down on Northern Avenue as well. Working with the mayor, we worked on preserving some of the historic monuments or the historic sites in Bessemer Park of our steelworkers. It's really kind of different standing up here and talking to folks because I'm used to knocking on your doors and talking to you in person. So standing up here and talking to folks on a bigger level is a little bit different. But just 2 years ago, Pueblo elected the most progressive city council member in Pueblo's history. I fought for access to women's reproductive care, fighting against criminalizing homelessness. I fought for access to harm reduction. In addition to the infrastructure needing advocacy in the Northern Avenue. We have all these great ideas about Pueblo and about how we make these changes, but change does happen slow. And really what all the candidates here really need to think about is how you work with others. Because it's how you work with others is really how you will get things done. And so my advice to a lot of the candidates here, play a clean race. Just be good people because you're gonna have to sit next to those folks maybe someday. Thank you.
Do we have Roger Gomez or somebody speaking on Roger's behalf with us today? Well, the next race we will hear from is the Pueblo Board of Waterworks. Do we have Celeste Arellano or a representative for her?
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to apologize. I was not expecting to speak this morning. I came straight from the barn when we found out that Celeste would not be able to make it, so I apologize. I would be more appropriately dressed. My name is Christine. I'm here to speak on behalf of Celeste Arellano for Pueblo Board of Waterworks. Celeste has worked in water studies and organopesticides as an undergraduate intern at Fort Collins. Her primary study was their effects on leaching deadly chemicals into our water supply. Water is probably the most precious resource in Colorado. We must fight to protect it and preserve it. Pueblo water specifically is a great concern, and we must be responsible stewards for the protection of our water. Celeste also has knowledge in auditing and banking. She's worked as an auditor of science labs for wastewater disposal at the University of Colorado. Celeste was a teacher in both District 60 and District 70, and she also spent time substituting over the course of 30 years. And again, I'm speaking on behalf of Celeste Ariano for Pueblo Board of Waterworks, and I know if she were here, she would like to thank Noah and the Latino Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Convention Center staff and all of you today. So please remember, Celeste is the only candidate on the ballot for Pueblo Board of Waterworks. Thank you.
And speaking on behalf of Sandy Gutierrez on the Pueblo Board of Waterworks will be Mr. David Gallo.
Thanks, Noah. Sandy sends her apologies. She had every intention of being here, but a family issue cropped up first thing this morning, which required her attendance in Denver, so she asked me as her campaign treasurer if I would pinch hit, so I'll do my best. I don't want to bore you and stand up here and tell the Latino Chamber of Commerce who Sandy Gutierrez is. I mean, it's an organization that she led for almost 20 years. I think everyone in this room that knows Sandy knows what a leader she is, what a champion she is for this community, and what an advocate she's been for our water. Let me tell you what you don't know. Because of some address issues on the petitions, you won't see Sandy's name on the ballot. But when she learned of that, when she was out of town and didn't have the adequate time to come and address that and hear that, she said, no problem, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'll run as a write-in. So here's what we need to do. 2 simple steps to keep Sandy where she should be on the Board of Waterworks. When you get your ballot, go down to the voting for the Board of Waterworks. You'll see one name, and underneath that, you'll see a line that says write-in. Simply write in Sandy's name, color in the oval next to it, and that's all we need to do to let Sandy remain as one of the advocates to protect our most precious resource in this community. You know, we've heard from a lot of the mayor candidates and city council candidates about issues that may or may not be in disarray in the community. One of those issues that is not in disarray is water, and that's because of the stewardship of people like Sandy that have served on the Board of Waterworks and the relationships and cohesiveness that she's built with her existing and current water board members. So again, get that ballot, write in Sandy's name, fill in the oval next to it, and let's keep Sandy on the water board. For those of you that may not know Sandy and would like to get to know her, next Thursday, October 5th, from 5 to 7 at Zaragoza Hall, we'll be having a fundraiser. Feel free to stop by, have a glass of wine, something to eat, and visit with Sandy. So again, write in Sandy Gutierrez. Please, let's keep her where she needs to be on the Pueblo Board of Waterworks. Thank you.
And the next race we will hear from is the Pueblo School District 60 Board. And up first is Sol Sandoval Tapoya.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. I'm Sol Sandoval, currently serving on the Board of Education for District 60. I was appointed to the school board and now I'm running to be reelected. Within a short time of serving on the board, I was faced with the tragedy of attending a student's funeral, and I promised myself to support suicide prevention and mental wellness every chance I got. I'm running to continue to serve on the board because I grew up in poverty. I was the child that had to translate for her parents. Children shouldn't have to translate for their parents. All schools should be equipped to communicate with the families that we serve. I'm proud to be fully bilingual and to be able to communicate with monolingual Spanish speakers. I personally know that education is a pathway out of poverty. I will continue to advocate for our students and families who are struggling to make ends meet, struggling to put food on the table, struggling to survive. All children deserve a safe home. They deserve not to have to wonder if they're going to have dinner tonight. They deserve a school that supports their mental wellness. They deserve a representative who is going to push back and ask those hard questions. They deserve someone who believes wholeheartedly in high-quality public education. And frankly, we shouldn't have to be playing musical chairs, researching what school to send our children to. All schools should be excellent schools and should be held to the same standards. All schools should be given the same resources regardless of the zip code. I wear many hats, but my most important role is of being a mother. My children attend D60 schools, and that's why improving D60 is personally important to me. Our D60 staff and teachers deserve to be represented by someone who is going to fight for livable wages, to fight for open communication, dignity, and respect. We need to provide our schools with all the tools they need to thrive. Let's keep politics out of our schools and get back to the basics of simply putting children first. Children can vote, but you can. Vota por mí, vote for me. Thank you for your time.
Up next, we have Dan Comden, but I believe Michelle Gray will be speaking on his behalf.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the Latino Chamber for having this event and hosting it. And I also want to thank the Convention Center for the wonderful meal and all of the hard work they put behind this. I am Michelle Gray. I'm a retired teacher from District 60, taught mathematics for 27 years, retired into another teaching job because that's what I do. I met Dan Comden in 1982 when we relocated to Pueblo. They relocated to Pueblo in 1978, and at that time they had their daughter Allison. They then had their son Andrew, 2 twin boys, and then Benjamin. And the reason I bring them up is because Benjamin, the youngest, is getting married today, and that's why Dan is not here. And so I'm speaking on his behalf. Dan and his wife Randy have always taken part in their kids' education. They've always been a part of the summer musical, track and field, cross country. He'll even tell you he did his kids' homework, but he's always been a part of District 60. And he loves the school district, he loves the children, and now his grandchildren are attending District 60, and he wants to bring the great education that his kids had to his grandkids. He's always been a proponent for the arts, and he will continue to be a proponent for the arts and the trades in the schools. Dan remembers, and I remember, in District 60, when we would call Pueblo's children Pueblo's pride. And we want to bring Pueblo's pride back to the schools. Dan Comden is the most experienced candidate running for school board. He served 2 terms from 2003 to 2011, and he has the skill set to hit the ground running. Dan, at that time, always talked to me, a teacher in the classroom, to students, to parents, and he advocated for us on the board. Dan will ensure funds are in the classroom, that administration is the appropriate size, and that teachers are paid a fair wage. He will ask the hard questions, and he will remove the programs that are no longer working and support the programs that do. He wants to increase trades and technical careers in the schools. so that our young people can leave high school ready to take on a job that pays a decent wage and have a career outside of a university degree. We need plumbers, electricians, small engine mechanics. Find out about Dan by visiting his website at Camden for Pueblo 60. He also has materials over there. He could stand some money. Let's make Pueblo proud again. Vote Dan Camden for Pueblo 60 kids.
And up next we have Anthony Pergo.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank the Latino Chamber for putting on this forum. I am Anthony Perko, candidate for School District 60, two-year term. A bit about me, I am a graduate of School District 60, Central Class of 2005. My family on both sides, mom and dad's, have been fourth-generation steel workers, immigrant family. I went away to school, attended CU Boulder for undergraduate and University of Denver for law school. About one half of the way through law school, I made up my mind that I wanted to return to Pueblo to practice. Since that time, I've represented a good number of public bodies, including the Pueblo County School District 70 as its general counsel. I have represented a number of charter schools. These experiences have given me familiarity with school funding procedures, general education law, the Open Meetings Law, Open Records Act, insurance law. I have personally appeared before the Colorado Department of Education, the Charter School Institute Board of Directors, the Colorado Commissioner of Education, and the State Board. Separately from the professional side of things, I have previously served on the Board of Directors of the Boys and Girls Club of Pueblo County, and I have been involved with the Pueblo Poverty Foundation. That's the nonprofit of the dearly departed Ray Aguilera. And last year I was one of their sponsors for the 2022 Christmas extravaganza. Specifically, I was their pizza sponsor and supplied the food for the event. I am a current D60 board member, though I was a vacancy appointment just short of a year ago. That is why I'm running for the two-year term as opposed to a four-year. I consider it as though I'm running for the right to finish the term that I'm currently filling. Since being on the board, I consider myself someone who is able to reach compromise solutions with other board members and staff, and to work to reach a middle ground when there's disagreement. The board is a legislative body, and it's not expected or contemplated that everyone is supposed to agree all the time. That is actually the idea. There have been a number of occasions when I would respectfully submit that I've gotten things done through negotiation and cooperation, including restarting the in-person public comments for the public and finding a new home for the planetarium. Were I fortunate enough to be voted in by the committee for the two-year term, my main priority would be to focus and zero in on the district's declining enrollment. In my view, that is the most pressing issue facing us at this time. With less students come less PPR funding, which creates many more additional issues. As a city, when we're attempting to attract young new families here, we all know that what families are looking to see are low crime and good schools. I see D60 as having the potential not just to halt its shrinking, but to grow. The rising tide lifts all boats, and were I to be able to serve a two-year term, it would be my goal to work collaboratively with other governmental bodies, as well as the other stakeholders, to bring about the most good for the most people in the community as a whole. Anthony Perko, two-year term, Pueblo School District 60. Thank you very much.
And up next we have Brian Cisneros.
Hello. Thank you all for being here today. I'd like to start by thanking the Latino Chamber of Commerce for putting on this event, hosting this event and giving me the opportunity to speak as well. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Brian Cisneros. I'm a proud Latino, and I'm honored to be running for District 60 School Board. I'll tell you a little bit about myself to start. I'm a loving husband and father. I'm a fourth generation Pueblo native. I've attended District 60 schools all the way through my graduation from South in 2008. I stand before you today not as a candidate, but as an advocate for the future for our children and the success of our schools. My commitment lies in three crucial pillars: school safety, career and technical education, and the enhancement of test scores. First and foremost, school safety is non-negotiable. Our children deserve to learn in an environment free from fear. As your representative, I will work tirelessly to ensure that our schools are equipped with the latest security measures, well-trained employed staff, and create an atmosphere where students feel secure and ready to learn. Now let's talk about the future. Career and technical education is the bridge that connects classroom learning to real-world skills. I propose a comprehensive strategy to expand vocational programs, collaborate with local industries, and provide our students with hands-on experiences by investing in career-oriented education. We not only prepare our youth for the workforce, but also build a community of skilled professionals. And that's what we need here in Pueblo. Education is a journey, and we must measure our progress. Elevating testing scores is a shared responsibility, and it starts with supporting our teachers and implementing effective teaching methods. In conclusion, my vision for our schools is one of safety, preparation for the future, and academic excellence. As your school board representative, I will collaborate with all stakeholders, listen to your concerns and questions, and tirelessly work towards a school system that we can all be proud of together. Let's build a foundation for success where our children can learn, grow, and achieve greatness together. Once again, my name is Brian Cisneros, and I'm asking for your vote in this upcoming election. I appreciate your support in any way that you can. Provided, I'm hosting a fundraiser actually tonight at the Broadway Tavern at 6 p.m. I wish I could see all of you there. I would appreciate your support in any way. Thank you.
And up next we have Charles Dennis Mays.
First off, I'd like to give thanks to the sponsors and to you for permitting me to share a few thoughts with you today. One of the best predictors of the future is to look to the past. Allow me to share some of the accomplishments experienced by D60 during my previous 4-year term on the D60 board. The accomplishments occurred as a result of a collaborative effort among my colleagues on the board, a committed administration, the support of the entire D60 family, and a community with a commitment to the D60 students and their families in placing kids first. Of course, the crown jewel was the passage of a $218 million bond issue with the overwhelming support of the community. Because of aggressive advocacy and outstanding fiscal stewardship, the project morphed into a $250 million for the construction of 5 state-of-the-art schools at every educational level. Additionally, the bond provided for Priority 1 renovations in 11 other schools and updated its facilities master plan. 85% of the labor force was provided locally at a huge economic boost to the Pueblo economy. The district entered into the first ever 2-year contract with the teachers union and navigated through the pandemic without any forced staff reductions and or other economic loss. All of this while balancing the budget all 4 years. The district adopted a 5-year strategic plan with considerable input from the community and revised the plan for the coming years. I was proud to be a part of the revised strategic plan and look forward to its continuing implementation. Academically, the district designed an online school, adopted and implemented long-term curriculum plans in the areas of math, music, and ELA, and developed a 5-year technology replacement cycle and budget to provide for future technology. The district exceeded the state average in graduations and simultaneously reduced the dropout rate below the state average. There were 8 schools on turnaround status at the start of my term. There was only 1 when I left. The primary responsibility of the district is to provide a safe learning environment for its students. In that regard, the district established close working relationships with our first responders, pro bono mental health, health solutions, State of Grace, the Polo City and County Health Department. Community involvement was encouraged by the Adopt a School program with businesses here in town. I will govern with integrity, independence, transparency, and allegiance to the open meetings law. I will not be beholden to political or personal agendas, nor will it be necessary for me to consult the committee of 4 to reach informed decisions. Thank you. I appreciate your vote.
And up next we have Susan Panunzio, and speaking on her behalf we have Bernice Rivera.
Good afternoon. As he said, I'm Bernice Rivera, and I'm here representing Sue. She sends her apologies. She had a prior commitment and was unable to attend. I'm a retired elementary teacher of 32 years. In fact, teaching is where I met Sue. She is a retired teacher of 33 years. She taught both at the elementary level and the high school level. Last year, we were both blessed to be able to return to D60 as reading interventionists to help our students out who were significantly behind. We were both disheartened to see so many of our students struggling not only with reading, but writing and math. As we discussed possible reasons why so many students in our school and throughout the district were not proficient, we also discussed what we could do to impact more students. And I flippantly said, you should run for the school board. You would be great, but I truly meant she would be great. Within weeks of our conversation, Sue came back to me and she said, I'm running for the school board. She said, I don't want to be just sitting on the sidelines hoping someone would be willing to be a voice for parents, a voice for our students, a voice for our teachers, and a voice for our community. Why would Sue be an asset to the school board? First of all, as an educator, she knows children, curriculum, and has extensive knowledge in the components of reading and the foundational skills students should have in order to be successful. Teachers would find her relatable because she knows the challenges and hard work and dedication it takes to be an excellent educator. As a parent of 2 children who went through D60 schools, she can empathize with parents who are concerned about school safety, the district's transparency, and equipping our students with essential skills to be productive citizens in our community. She is a person of integrity who will no doubt uphold transparency. I have witnessed her firsthand how she handles conflict with others who have different points of view. She handles it with such grace and professionalism, but still stands boldly on what she knows to be true. As an educator and grandparent of children soon to be entering the D60 school system, I'm concerned, and so is Sue, about the fact that our district ranks near the bottom in academic performance compared to other Colorado districts. Our Pueblo children deserve better. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Please vote Sue Panunzio for support. Thank you.
And up next next we have Thomas Farrell.
Good afternoon. First, of course, thank you to the Latino Chamber for hosting this event today. Thank you to the Convention Center for sponsoring and hosting us here as well. Also, I want to thank all of you for being here and for your interest in local races. These local races are very important to our community, so I'm glad to see so many people interested. My name is Tommy Farrell. I am a proud graduate of District 70, and I've also attended District 60 schools, public education through my entire educational career. I'm also a graduate of CSU Pueblo. For my entire adult life, and even as a teenager, I've been involved with youth development in some form or another, whether that be through the Boy Scouts of America, the hands-on history program at El Pueblo Museum, and Outfront Youth Group, various other ways to support youth in our community who need it the most. I'm a small business owner and also a proud public servant working for Pueblo County. And I've been on the District 60 school board for 4 years. A couple years after I joined the board, a couple months, excuse me, after I joined the board, we saw the beginning of the pandemic and had the difficult challenge of figuring out how to navigate an ever-changing world. Although there weren't always good decisions to be made, the board and the district did our best to get through it and make sure that each student was still getting what they needed. One of those things that had been mentioned was the D60 online school, where students are still finding success when they can't find it in a more traditional setting. In these 4 years, we've opened 5 new school buildings, and we've made improvements to many others. We've also made improvements thanks to the Pueblo Urban Renewal Authority to Dutch Clark Stadium. My focus has always been removing barriers to safe, quality, and supportive education for each student, no matter their zip code. We have students who come into our schools with so many things happening in their lives that they can't focus on learning. And we need to work on continuing to address mental health and advocate for continued improved state funding. Over my 4 years, I've developed relationships with our state legislators and always advocate for improving our funding system. I'm grateful to the community partners that we have to support mental health, but I want to see that continue and grow. And I hope that I will continue to earn your support, and I look forward to serving another 4 years.
Up next, we have Roger Wright. Is anyone here to speak on Roger's behalf? All right, we are moving on to William Thiebaud. Thibault. My apologies.
I think I'm last. I know what it feels like to be the last of 15 children. Over the last decade, I've been semi-retired, sort of. I do teach part-time at Colorado State University, Pueblo, and practice law on a limited basis, advising my family on many small business matters. But my real joy has been watching several of my infant grandchildren without pay. For example, the past 2 years, I've been watching my youngest 2-year-old granddaughter, our 41st grandchild. I've learned in that regard to be skilled at loving her and babies in general, understanding child development, remaining calm in highly fast-paced environments, being flexible, and not being afraid of changing dirty diapers. So I thought, why not run for the school board? The expectations are quite similar, without pay, of course. Providing a safe environment for children, making sure they acquire life skills, communicating with parents, and not being afraid of changing dirty diapers. I start with the principle that public education is a right for all. Equality of opportunity is the promise of Brown versus Board of Education. Public education is the foundation of our democratic republic. It is the spark that ignites a robust economic engine. It is the cure for our societal ills. There are 3 challenges for our district: safety, creativity, and adequate funding. A recent poll by Colorado Latino Policy Agenda revealed nearly 3/4 of the poll respondents would like to see tax dollars spent on improving K-12 education. I'll be laser focused on adequate funding of our district needs because our policy choices cannot be a reality unless we have the money to implement them. Safety concerns and creative thinking measures are 2 examples. My plan, which is on the website, billforpuebloschildren.com, will address a prudent budget to spend tax dollars, thoughtful measures to increase local revenue, and aggressive advocacy to bring more state funding to Pueblo, including tapping into the money that would flow to districts if Proposition HH passes. Take a look at my website, billforpuebloschildren.com. You'll find that I believe in Pueblo's children and will strive with all my might for great schools and beyond great schools for Pueblo's children. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support.
And how about one more round of applause for all our candidates? Good luck to you all in November. We look forward to working with you, and we commend you for your sincere service to Pueblo.